Hello everyone, my name is Aabir Rizvi. Welcome to my channel, Let's Collaborate. Um, Please know that my HR requires me to let you know that I work for Microsoft, and with that putting aside, I just want to tell you what we are going to be talking about today. Our discussion today is going to be about OneDrive for Business and SharePoint. A common question that I get asked from my customers is, when do you use SharePoint? And when do you use OneDrive for Business? What are some of the benefits? What are some of the use cases? And hopefully in today's discussion, we are going to try to dissect that a little bit. So without any further delay, let's get started. I'm going to share my screen and log into my developer subscription tenant and show you my SharePoint site. All right, folks. So here we are in my SharePoint site that we are going to be looking at and reviewing the documents library section and uploading or creating a document, and then going back into OneDrive for Business and reviewing the differences. So in our SharePoint library, I wanna give you a quick rundown of how you can quickly create a document by clicking on New, for example. I'm going to click a PowerPoint presentation and I'm going to label it Introduction to SharePoint. I'm going to click on the Design tab. I'm going to make it look like this very quickly by Aabir Rizvi. And really the idea is to give you a quick visual of what this how quickly you can come up with presentations and save it to SharePoint, and then what are some of the benefits. I'm going to label this SharePoint intro, and after making changes to the title and updating a slide, I think I'm going to just save it to this extent. As you can notice, this PowerPoint presentation is opened up in PowerPoint Online, so within the browser. So it's already saying that it's saved just now. So all I have to do is X out of this tab, and I will be back to my my documents library inside my SharePoint site called Iron Man Home. I can see the document that's already stored, but who is the owner of this document, or who has full control on this document? So when you save a document in a SharePoint library, everybody who has owner level access to the site or to the documents library is who has full control of each document that resides within that documents library. So in our case, if I click on the three members that's showing that has access to the site, I can see that other than myself, I have Adele who's got owner level privileges, and also Diego, who's got member level privileges. Member means the person here, Diego, can edit the document, but he may not be able to add other individuals. But an owner means that person has full control and can do anything with the site, can even delete the site and so forth. So an owner has full control on this particular document. The benefit of this setup is that all corporate content that gets produced can be saved in a repository in a SharePoint library that is accessible to many people with same level of privileges. So even if someone wins a lottery in an organization and moves on, the organization is not coming back to IT or looking for who was the owner for that particular document that was shared with them, and maybe that was sitting in that person's OneDrive. And that's precisely what the difference is. So if there is a document that is corporate content that's ready for prime time, that's ready for the bigger collaboration across the board within an organization, then that file should not be saved in OneDrive for Business, and it should be saved in SharePoint. But during the time frame when that particular document or presentation was going through the notion of being edited or changed, that document can reside in OneDrive for Business and can be shared with one person or another to get that file edited and then move to SharePoint. And we're going to talk about that functionality in just a little bit. We have seen many controls that are available in SharePoint. You can share the document by clicking on the share button, and you can click on the first section, which is set to people within the organization, whatever the domain name is, with the link can edit. So if I click on it, it gives me additional options to choose from. So at the top it says, who would you like this link to work for? People within the organization, people with existing access, or specific people, and so forth. Notice anyone with the link is disabled. That's because our org-wide setting is restricting us to send a document outside of the organization, anybody who doesn't authenticate. And we'll talk about some of the other videos that we are going to make, that what are some of the administrator level controls that are available. But for a user's perspective, I can choose people with existing access, or I can choose a specific people, and I can select allow editing or don't allow editing. For example, I'm going to leave it checked, allow editing, and hit apply. Here now I can type in any email address, anybody specifically that I'm looking to share this with. I can even add a message. Please review the final version of the presentation uploaded to the Ironman home SharePoint site. So I can just do this. I can also copy this link and send it across, or Outlook. But even at this point, if I'm like, oh, you know what? I don't know if I want to give this person edit or view access, so I can quickly change it over here too. I'm not going to change my mind. I'm going to hit send. And that's going to send a link to Adele. Now, you also can see that you can hit the upload option, and you can upload a file, upload a folder, upload a template. So you can simply click on any one of these options and get documents uploaded right here pretty quickly. There's also the ability to drag and drop documents right here, which can be quickly done. So if I have opening up a few documents right here. So if I have a new folder here, and if I want to grab something from my desktop and move it across here, as you can see, it has this red box that's coming in. If I want to quickly bring something to the SharePoint documents library and want to drag and drop here, I can do that. So if I'm going to drop this, as you can see on the right hand side, it starts showing that it's churning, and here's this new folder that I brought across. It was called a new folder, and the documents within it, if I click on it, it says what the document names are. So that's a quick visual of how you can quickly manage documents within a document library in SharePoint, and it's content that's ready for prime time and so forth. You can add a shortcut to OneDrive to this folder in OneDrive as well. So if you wanted to have this included, I'm going to come back and showcase what this functionality is going to do in just a little bit. But from right here, right now, I'm going to quickly turn to my office.com site and click on OneDrive for Business. So if I jump on OneDrive for Business, um, as you can see, my files are showing some of my files from my desktop, from my personal file, and some other files that I've created previously. So under Recent, it's going to show some additional files that exist. And hey, notice it's showing our SharePoint intro PowerPoint deck that we just created that lives in our SharePoint document. So if I click on this SharePoint document, it's going to launch the SharePoint site and take you back to where this document resides. That's also something quick and something nice that OneDrive for Business does. But under Recent, it's going to show you SharePoint files that you have access to, and also if you notice down here, it's going to show you OneDrive for Business files that belongs to you and when was it last accessed. Under Shared, you will be able to see files that are shared with you. So if someone shares a file with me, you know, this is where it shows up. And if I've shared something outside to somebody external to the organization, this is where it shows up as well. So here's guest contributor that I sent this file out to, you know, so it lives right over here. Then under Recycle Bin, which is the fourth option in the left navigation, I see some files that have been deleted and so forth, and I have this. I have the option to empty Recycle Bin if I wanted to. Down at the bottom, I have some secondary stage Recycle Bin options. So if I click on second stage Recycle Bin, this is where files move from the Recycle Bin into the second stage Recycle Bin for an additional amount of days where it's collected. In the left navigation, I also see some shared libraries. So our home, Ironman home, leadership connection, communication site. So OneDrive for Business is quickly, if you think about it, it's quickly giving me a view of all the files that I own that are just for editing purposes and something that I want to share with one or two people that are not, let's say, prime time ready potentially. They live under my files. Under Recent, I see all the files that are in SharePoint as well as in OneDrive for Business. Under Shared, I see if someone else shares a file with me, or if I share a file with someone, I see all of those files over there. And under Recycle Bin, I see deleted recycled option. So it's a very simple interface, but it's doing a lot of things. Further, in the left navigation, I see all of the shared libraries that are available in my organization, quickly accessible from here. So if I click in Ironman Home right here, so notice it's opening up. Give me 1 second. So it's opening up the Ironman Home. Without opening up the site, it's only showing me the documents library view of this same site, right? So if this is the site, I'm not seeing anything in the left navigation. When I'm in OneDrive and when I click on Ironman Home, I can see the file that I created and everything within that particular document library. So we can create a shared library as well, and down in the left navigation, there's get the OneDrive app. So highly encourage you getting this OneDrive app. So if you click on this, it's going to open up the option to where you can put in your phone number, and hopefully when you click on send now, it's going to send you a link, or you can simply go to your Google Play Store or iOS App Store and search for OneDrive without any space. So OneDrive is a one word. And download an app and authenticate, log in the same way you have logged into your environment. So that works really well because it gives you a quick view of all the files and from the app. So it works tremendously well. So what we are going to quickly do is we're going to go back to my file, and at the top it says new, upload, sync, automate. Pretty much some of the options we saw in SharePoint as well. So if I click on new, and if I click on let's create an Excel workbook, I am going to come up with a file, and I'm going to do new, and I'm going to do a weekly timesheet. So I'm using one of the templates to quickly come up with some data. I am going to call this, Ironman corporate document. So let's say you're creating this template, and you want this template to be perfected and be used. So I'm gonna call this a timesheet right here, timesheet for Ironman. So I create this document, and I'm going to add underscore V1 in front of it, means version 1. So it's in draft mode. I'm still working and modifying this file. And let's say I'm creating this in OneDrive for Business so that I can simply share this with my manager. So I'm going to X out of this document and go back to my file. And here I will be able to see that document, hopefully. Timesheet for Ironman. So the other book that got created, I can simply select this and delete, because when I created new, it created a document, but I then jumped onto another template. So it created 2 documents, no big deal. I'm cleaning up as I go. So here's the timesheet, and I'm ready to share this with my manager, asking for that. Hey, I'm going to send it to Diego, and I'm going to ask for please review and approve this template, so before I move this file to SharePoint. So I'm saying specifically that because I want Diego as my manager to review this template I've created, and before I make it available for Adele and other people, I'm just sharing it with one person. So if I go quickly under shared in the left navigation, I should be able to see under shared by you another document now, which is actually something that I've shared internally. So if I click on this, and if I put a checkbox next to it, I can also see manage access up above. So if I click on manage access, that is going to actually show me that you are sharing this document with one individual, and once he or she accepts and access the document, that's when it starts showing up over here. So by default, it's showing that, hey, you have owner level access to this particular document, but you have shared it externally. So once I click on it, I can also click on manage access this way too. If I click on the ellipsis and go down and take a look at it, I can also grant someone access like this too, by clicking on the ellipsis and clicking on the plus icon, and then adding I'm going to add not Adele. I think I'm going to add and I'm going to add Diego right here as well. So I can grant access and notify that person this way as well. So access granted, notified, and so forth. And once he accessed the documents, that's when it's going to start showing up over here. But now let's say he already reviewed the document and now he comes back and he says, well, you know what? Everything looks good, Abir. Why don't you make this the final version? And so this is ready for prime time and roll it out. Send it to whoever you need to send this to, and please put it back on SharePoint because that's where it should reside. Right now, you're the only person who has owner level access to it. And what if you win a lottery and move on? So you can select the document and notice there are more options. I'm back in my files. I'm selecting, putting a checkbox next to the document. I'm seeing all of the options up above, and share is one of them, and then rename is another one. So first I'm going to rename this to, let's say I'm going to call it final. Right? For example, I'm going to name it final. I've renamed it, and now I'm going to put a checkbox. And then what other option can I have? Is there an easier way to move this file to SharePoint? I wonder, because wouldn't that make sense that, or do you have to really download this file and upload it back there? Well, oh, if you click on the ellipsis, if you're not seeing that on your browser, you have the option of move to. So if I click on move to, oh, look at what I see here. The same options that are showing under the left navigation. And I want to move it to Iron Man Home. So if I select Iron Man Home, and if I select if I select new folder, if I do move here, moving one item to new folder. Oh, look, the file disappeared from here. And let's go back to the SharePoint tab up above, and let's see if that file is available under new folder. If I go back in new folder, ta-da, here's the file. So the file successfully moved in a click of a button from OneDrive to SharePoint, because now this is prime time ready. Now you took, you went here and you grabbed the link by doing copy link, and you simply created an email, or you went to your teams and you announced that here's a template of a document that you should be using to submit your timesheet, for example. So hope this makes sense, and hope you found this video useful. If there are any questions, feel free to comment in the video down below. Please like and subscribe and share this content. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you guys more. Have a good day.